When I viewed this case through the justice lens, I realized very quickly that the issue is bigger than whether the students were disrespectful. The articles noted that the ethics of justice focuses on fairness, consistency, rights, and a true assessment of facts rather than assumptions. A couple of questions came to mind. Did the students truly violate the expectations? Were they treated the same as other students? And did the teacher have all of the information that she needed? Justice also requires you to look at the rights. So a question that came to mind was, did the students have the right to disagree as long as they were not causing a disruption? The facts in this case show that the two students were laughing, whispering, rolling their eyes, but nothing indicated that they were being a disruption to the tour and affecting the learning experience for the other students. Additionally, the facts point that the teacher never asked the two students why. And that from the lens of justice, that really matters because of fairness. That requires us to understand the facts before issuing a set of consequences. Before making a decision, we must speak to the students, ask them why they responded the way that they did, and ask them to reflect on whether the decisions that they made were from a disagreement or simply because of a disruption. And something else to point out here is that from this lens, tension does emerge. You have to think about a balancing act. Were we focusing on the rights of a whole group, or were we focusing on the rights of individual students? And a justice-oriented leader must be able to balance rather than focusing on one particular group over the other. If I were resolving this issue from the justice lens, I would focus on applying the expectations consistently while protecting students' opportunity to learn. Based on the facts, I would not remove the student. I would make sure to address the behaviors, clarify the expectations, and give those two students an opportunity to share honestly their reaction and their perspective of the field trip. The ethic of justice reminds us that fairness depends on facts rather than assumptions, and that we need to understand what happened and in this case, work through it to ensure that all students were treated fairly and consistently.